afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the last session of this London Comic Con. We've got a great session planned for you guys. I'm just about to introduce on stage Mike Bithell. He was the creator of Thomas Was Alone, and he's here to show... There you go, there you go. That's got to be good to hear about there, Mike. But yeah, he's showing off his new game, Volume, and he's got some very special talent with him. But without further ado, can I introduce onto stage Mike Bithell?
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you. Oh, I'm sure we're going to have a lot of those jokes. Yes, hello everyone. You probably saw me messing around with cables for the last half hour. I've just braved the storms to get back from Nottingham today, so I'm a mess. My computer doesn't work. My hair is ridiculous. I'm about to invite on stage the owner of the best hair of his generation. I'm interested, actually. I always ask this. It's a little bit egotistical, maybe, but it's useful. Who in the room has heard of Thomas Was Alone? Okay, that's cool. Who's heard of Volume? Less. Who's heard of Charlie McDonnell? Okay, that's a good mix of people. I like the people who didn't yell or put their hand up for any of those things and are excited and intrigued by whatever the hell's about to happen. I am too. Okay, so Volume is my second game I produce as an indie developer. It is a stealth game. It's kind of inspired by a lot of the games I loved as a kid, games like Metal Gear Solid, things like that. I've been excited by how many Solid Snakes I've seen wandering around. Yeah, it's coming along okay. It seems to be anyway. We'll see. I've got two trailers to show you. The first is gameplay. The first kind of gives you an idea of hopefully what the game is. And the second introduces my cast, of whom one of them is sat very politely waiting on a sofa out there. I'm sure you're going to be happy to see him. So I'm going to run the first trailer. Now, again, apologies. It's all been rushed. My computer is a mess. I'm going to have to count in so the internet gets this video at the same time. So, 3, 2, 1, click. Okay, we'll try that again. 3, 2, 1, click. Thank you very much. I'm going to press the button that doesn't make the annoying alarm sound happen. Okay, so yeah, that was an old trailer, but it's kind of important because it kind of shows what the game is. So it's a non-violent stealth game, kind of sneaking around, avoiding guards, but also you can edit it. So you can make your own levels, your own environments, and do your own thing, hopefully, which should be a nice mix. But what I did on Friday was a bit weird. On Friday night at 8 o'clock, I went on stage at Nottingham Castle, which is why I was in Nottingham, to announce the story and the cast of this game. And the reason I decided to do it at Nottingham Castle, because obviously I can get any castle I want, the reason I did it at Nottingham Castle specifically was because the game is Robin Hood. It's an update of Robin Hood. It's a modern-day retelling of that kind of old, awesome legend that's been passed down for over 700 years at this point. But more importantly, I also had to announce my cast and the awesome talent who are going to be providing the story in this game. Story is very important in my games. Thomas was alone. I don't like to boast, but Danny won a BAFTA for his portrayal of the narrator in that game. So story is very important. So I wanted to make sure this game did it just as well. So I've got a trailer, second trailer. We're going to try doing the 3, 2, 1 thing, and I'm going to press the right button. And yeah, let's introduce our stars. So 3, 2, 1.
These things tend to start pretty much the same way. Someone wanting to sound heroic. Theme is dated in the first sentence. Some slightly too clever framing device. Setting established. And boom, a pithy tagline for the inevitable movie adaptation. But I don't have time for that. In fact, I have about 3 hours. The AI seemed pretty sure of that. There were graphs. In 3 hours, Gisborne's tappers find this place, which means I have 3 hours to work my way through the homes and businesses stored in the volume's database, to show you how to steal back what was taken from us, to make you mighty. My name is Robert Loxley, this is my stream, and I will be heard.
And, you sure you don't want the pistol? I can simulate a pretty nifty silencer. With laser sights. Laser sights are cool. No? Nothing. Right.
Thank you. So I've kept you waiting long enough, and I've kept him waiting. I hope you're ready. Okay, coming onto the stage is the star of Volume, Robert Loxley himself, Mr. Charlie McDonnell. So yeah.
Hello.
Hello. And I'll be honest, this is the point in proceedings where I have no idea kind of what to do. I've got the game here, so I'm just going to quickly. You're all going to see my desktop. Please ignore the offensive stuff. I think we're all right. Very quickly boot this game up. I don't think there's anything on there. There might be. Have a look. See if you can see anything. And I'm going to just boot the game up. So yeah, so I can have it playing. So welcome, Charlie. Hello.
Hello. Thanks
Awesome.
for having me at your thing.
It's kind of awesome. I'm kind of, yeah, it's very strange to be up here.
I admit that when I said that I'd like to come to the thing in Nottingham, and then you said, no, just come to this thing in London, I thought that I would just be sitting in the audience watching you do something cool.
Oh, so you had no idea
Yeah.
you're coming out. I'm so sorry. There's still time if you want to escape. People might be, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to trick you. That's terrible. Whoops. I'm just going to quickly... So yeah, I mean, I've got a build of the game here. I'm interested, though, because obviously we want to do a lot of Q&A, because obviously it's the coolest part of any of these events. So I'm interested, does anyone have a question that they already want to ask? Okay, we've got a couple. I tell you what, okay, put your hand down if your question is not for Charlie. Hands up if you've got a question for Charlie. Okay, we've got one here in the front row, an awesome Link. I believe you're Link. Yes, I can see your shield. You're Link. You're clearly Link. So can we get a microphone to Link in the front row, please?
I'm coming. Hold on. Where am I looking? Sorry.
I'm sorry. I did it a bit earlier than you were expecting.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
So what I think I'll do is I'm going to play the game a bit while you guys chat.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'll have a go.
I'm going to put my mic down and do this.
Hello.
Hello.
Me and my cousin are massive fans, by the way. And I just want to ask, like, how is it being like quite YouTube famous?
How is it being YouTube famous?
Yeah.
It's fine. I mean, it's pretty normal for me. Mike was worried when I got here that I'd need to wear some kind of mask and that I'd be mobbed as I went around.
It wasn't that bad, was it?
Maybe 2 people noticing me. I mean, being YouTube famous, basically, it sort of means I'm sort of famous in a very like tight bubble of people who specific people who know who I am, and then a lot of people who just have no idea at all. And so I quite like that.
People did seem quite excited when I announced you were in it. There's definitely, you have some fans. There's a bit of an audience there, isn't there? Which is cool. So that was a rubbish tutorial level. I'm going to actually do something a bit more interesting. Do we have another question for Charlie while I keep playing?
Here you go.
There's one there in the back row. It's just because I've tried to demonstrate this game before while talking. I've kicked over my water bottle, and it doesn't work because I get distracted. It's like when you're playing a video game, someone tries to have a phone call with you. It doesn't work. So I'm going to just let you keep answering questions if that's all right. Sorry.
Yeah, have you been interested in other Robin Hood-like stories? Any of the retellings, like the modern ones or anything older? Or was this all completely new for you?
My main exposure to Robin Hood was the Robin Hood Disney movie, in which Robin Hood is a fox. I watched that many, many times when I was young. That was the main retelling of Robin Hood for me. So I'm going to have to get a lot of guidance from Mike in terms of all of the backstory.
I'm going to send you all of my Blu-rays. I've been watching so many of them.
It's important to point out, I think, that so far all of the voiceover that I've done is just for that trailer, so I think it's okay for me to be ignorant at that point.
But you delivered those like 5 sentences really well.
Thank you.
With a sheet, right? You had like a whole... You did a whole thing.
So we didn't go into a recording studio to do that because it's an indie game, so that was me just in a room with like my own like recording equipment that I have for making my videos, with like a bed sheet over my head to try and make the noise as dry as possible.
It was awesome. I remember when you sent me the photograph of you under the sheet. Because when we actually do the real VO, I promise it'll be like in a lovely Soho studio. But there was just something quite awesome about that. And the sound was good. I could save some money if you want to do the whole thing under a sheet. I'm not sure it'll work.
So long as you're there giving me direction, I honestly don't mind.
I'm rubbish at my own game.
Right, we've got another question. Here we go.
Any other questions? Yes, you really. The chap.
Hi, Charlie.
Oh, who? Yes, you. You're waving. Oh no, you're you. Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Sorry. Hello.
Charlie, is it okay if we come and like see you after this? Is that okay?
I have no idea. I don't want to cause a ruckus.
Did you just proposition him?
I mean, I have no plans. I'm pretty busy today, so I might have to head off. You will find out.
Right, we're going to go back to the front. Here we go.
I was just wondering, when is the next Chameleon Circuit album coming out?
I didn't hear that.
When is the next Chameleon Circuit
okay.
coming out?
So for anybody who doesn't know anything about me, I make videos on the internet, but I'm also in a very nerdy band that plays songs about Doctor Who called Chameleon Circuit. And we've made 2 albums so far. At the moment, we tentatively are planning to make a new album in come next year. We'll start putting something together. So that's our plan at the moment. But other than that, we know we'd like to make an album, and that's about it. That's about all the planning so far.
Brilliant.
What were your first thoughts when Mike asked you to be the lead in his game?
I was very excited. More excited than I'll probably let on to.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, definitely not in front of an audience either.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
I think because there was quite a while, a period of you asking me not to commit to the game until I'd seen some scripts and stuff, just to make sure that the writing was good. But I was pretty much sold anyway. I've been a big gamer my whole life, and I'm especially a big fan of indie games. And I hadn't heard of Thomas Was Alone until after I got in touch. But yeah, no, I'm just very excited to be in a game. It's just like a little, just a little childhood dream come true for me.
Oh, that's
So,
amazing.
yeah, I'm very happy.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, I was really happy to get Charlie as well. I'm going to tell the story actually because no one asked it, but I will anyway. So my version of Robin Hood is a YouTuber essentially. He's someone who finds. Who gains access essentially to a training simulator for the military, and instead of running away from that, he realizes it's got a decent internet connection, and he starts streaming and kind of let's playing crimes. And I remember I was out with some friends, and I said, you know what I need? I need to find someone like Charlie McDonnell. Because that's the kind of voice and that's the kind of character this Loxley character is in my head. And then just one of my friends at the table said, "Oh, I know Charlie," and it was awesome. I have awesome friends who can make my dreams come true. Danny was a drunken email the first time I worked with Danny, but he's back for this, so presumably he wasn't too offended by me emailing him drunk.
The cool thing for me as well was that Mike made it very clear that he wanted to be involved because he wanted my voice in his game, and he wasn't interested in trying to well, maybe he is manipulating me into getting more sales for his game. But he did say, "You don't have to talk about this at all if you don't want to."
And then I tricked you into coming on stage.
Yeah, that's the
so
best possible thing to do because I
Mm.
think by not forcing someone to talk about something, you made me like the thing more and want to talk about it. So,
well, I
good
think
job.
the thing for me was I wanted to make sure that you. Because I presume, and this is a good question, I presume people come to you and want you to kind of do things or endorse things a lot because you've got this kind of cultural cachet. And I just wanted to make sure that you knew I was trying to cast you because of your voice rather than because of the Charlie McDonnell thing. So I thought that was very important to kind of make that very clear from day one. And then to invite you without your knowledge to come on stage at a big event. And I'm so sorry. Have we got someone else?
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
we've got
there we
plenty
go.
of questions.
I'm just wondering, do you have any plans for future YouTube videos or short films?
Yeah, I'm currently working on. I've made a couple of short films, so I'm working on my second one at the moment, which is almost done. I'm also working on a trailer for it, which is nearly almost done. Definitely, that should be up within the next the trailer should hopefully be up within a week or so, and then the film itself maybe a couple of weeks. And then simultaneously, I'm working on 5 different YouTube videos at the moment. So I'm active. I haven't been active publicly for a little while, but I am doing stuff.
You've not just been hiding under a sheet recording voiceover for an indie game, no. Awesome.
Brilliant. Right, got another question?
Another one?
So outside of your films and your short films, is this your first experience with voiceover, within video games or animation? Or?
Definitely with video games and animation. It's not. I did a series, an online series once with a production company called Objective Productions. It was this thing called Science of Attraction. It was just a little TV show, but for the internet thing, basically. So I did some voiceover presenting for that, just to sort of tie all the bits together. And I just thought it was just incredibly fun. It was one of the most fun things I am surprised by how much I enjoyed doing voiceover stuff. It's just very cool. But definitely, this is the first time I've ever done anything this is my first experience of voice acting, for sure.
What part of it scares you the most? Because obviously, as we said, you've only done the VO for that one trailer. What's the bit that's most intimidating in terms of actually doing a full game?
In terms of doing just a full game, I think it's just... I just want to make sure it's really good, but it's not something I've had much experience at. So I'm just hoping that I'll be able to just pull it out of the mag. And I think I'll be able to get excited once I've seen my voice coming out of the character as well, because at the moment I see them as very two separate things.
Kind of divorced from each other. Yeah.
I see this model of this guy, which is apparently me, and then I hear my voice, but I don't know how they go together yet.
Cool.
So I think that will be what makes me finally comfortable. Because once I see it all come together.
Cool, yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Great.
So I'm going to open it up if there's questions about the game as well. That's cool. I'm rubbish at this game anyway because people are watching, so I guess that's fine. I can answer stuff too.
Well, do you want to answer questions and I can play?
You want to try the game? Have you played it yet? You've not played it.
Played a game yet.
Okay, let me put you. We might want to swap seats. Let me just get you to the tutorial. This is going to be really interesting if you can't do it. Don't feel any pressure.
Okay.
There you go. There's two.
Right, we've got a question here.
I was just wondering if he has any plans to work with any other YouTubers.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it because I was explaining the thumbsticks to Charlie.
It's
Sorry.
okay. Do you have any other plans to work with any other YouTubers?
I watch a lot of YouTube, as I imagine most people do now. I definitely would look for opportunities, essentially if it's the right voice. So there's a few people who are doing stuff for Volume. Some of them are YouTubers, some of them are, in Danny's case, he's a guy who's done a lot of audiobook work of his own books. He's a fantastic writer. And there's some other people who I've not talked about yet who are kind of more traditional actors or people who have YouTube shows that are interesting. For me, it's always about finding the right voice. It doesn't really matter where they came from. Charlie's just someone who can't... Oh, you've gone into debug camera mode. That's okay. I'm going to keep an eye. Yeah, so Charlie's someone who I've been watching his videos forever. My girlfriend and my little sister disagree on who introduced me to Charlie's videos first, but it was one of them, and I do love them. And it was just a voice that was, as I said earlier, was one that was just bouncing around in my head. Not too much, that sounds weird, but a voice that kind of seemed to make sense for the character in this game. So it felt natural.
Great. There we go.
More questions?
Hi. Narrative was very important in Thomas Was Alone. Is that something we're seeing in the new game?
Thomas Was Alone's narrative was very important, but sorry, I didn't catch the end of it.
Is that something that we see in the new game?
So the new game, I should have probably explained a bit better. So this character of Robert Loxley, it's left trigger, to go into cover. Sorry, all the prompts are about the keyboard. I'm sorry. It's because this build was from Eurogamer.
It tells me to press spacebar and I have to press A.
Yeah, and you have to press, so it's left trigger to go into cover. You'll be all right. Sorry. Probably should have prepared for this. It's my fault. I apologise. I like how engrossed Charlie looks, though. This is awesome endorsement. He's either engrossed or massively, massively frustrated.
I'm doing this just because the text is very small.
Oh, okay, fair enough. You're ruining the magic, Charlie. So to get back to the question, the story, story's very important. Thomas Was Alone, weirdly, when I made Thomas Was Alone, I didn't realise how much the story was going to resonate with people, and it seems to have done. It seems to have really found an audience, and some very interesting deviant art, as is always the case on deviant art. So with this one, it made sense. I knew from the start I wanted to tell a different kind of story, or a better story almost. There's one big thing is it's gone from a monologue kind of narration to specifically two characters interacting. So Charlie is Robert Loxley, who's this kind of YouTuber / Robin Hood, who's basically making these videos showing the poor how to steal from the rich. But he's assisted by Danny Wallace, who people remember from Thomas Was Alone, and he's Sean in Assassin's Creed as well, who is essentially he's the paperclip from Microsoft Office, but for military hardware. So he's like the most friendly, nice, charming character ever, but he really loves guns. So hopefully that'll lead to some kind of quite fun kind of dialogue between the two characters, and we've got a larger narrative they'll hopefully all build towards, and we'll do some interesting things with. Hopefully.
Great.
Oh.
Hi.
Hello.
I really, really love Thomas Was Alone.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you for making that game.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
And now that you are actually sitting here in the flesh, what was your inspiration for that game?
Thomas Was Alone was a weird one. It was lots of different things. Me and my best mate, actually, who's the concept artist on this game, a guy called Daz Watford, we were sat, we used to do a thing where we would introduce each other to movies we liked. And there was one evening, and we do double bill basically. And one evening, the movie I chose to kind of introduce him to was "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" Which is a Coen Brothers movie, which is brilliant for a lot of reasons. But for some reason, we got fixated on the idea of two characters being in a chain gang and kind of being tied together, and what that kind of meant, and how you'd be able to play a game that way. So we were going to make a platform with these two characters tethered together, and you were going to be able to swing each other around. And I started making it. Hello, yes, you need to hold it down and then release at the point where you want it to make noise. This is something I need to fix. Everyone at Eurogamer got stuck on this bit. And no, you don't go into debug mode. Yeah, just hold the right trigger on the controller and then release it when you want it to make. There you go, and you can use it to kind of guide him away. So I decided making that game, the Chain Gang game, but I didn't get round to putting the rope. Is it still? Oh dear, Charlie, run, Charlie. He's all right. It'll be okay. They're not very intelligent guards. So I basically didn't get round to putting the chain in, and I realized if I made one of the jumps a bit higher, it became really interesting. And you started thinking, oh, well, why is that one jump higher? Is he athletic? Is that one annoyed that he can't jump as high as the other one? And what would that do to a relationship? And so I just building and building and building, and yeah, it just kind of came from there. And then it was made, and then people liked it, which was very nice. But thank you so much for the kind words. Cheers.
Right,
cool. Another mic.
Front. There we go.
There's a bit of a tease in the voice actor trailer for how long it's going to take for Robert Loxley to be found. Is that any kind of hint as to how long you expect the game to be?
It's going to be close. So yeah, in the trailer, he says he's got 3 hours until the.
I understand how to play your game now.
You understand how to play the game?
Yeah.
Cool. Don't do Stealth Arena. That's really hard. Do the other ones. And don't do Stealth Arena to show off, because you'll get killed. I can't even do Stealth Arena. That's way too difficult. So sorry. Sorry, the question was 3 hours. So yes, the game is going to be roughly 3 hours, but it's more from a story point of view, because I realized when I started thinking about this, I was like, wouldn't it be cool if there was a YouTuber who broadcast from like a military hologram thing how to commit crimes? And then because I like to think stories through and whether they'll work or not. Oh. Cool. It's cool that came in when we were talking about deadlines time-wise. That's it's a beautiful kind of symmetry to that. Are you stuck?
No, well, I've only died once.
You've only died once?
I've only died once so far. I'm figuring it out.
That's awesome. I'm going to send you this build later on.
Please.
Yeah, so yes, it's an indicator. It was more, to be honest, from a narrative point of view, is if you were streaming how to commit crimes from a military hologram, they'd come find you. And it became kind of a story thing of, well, that's kind of interesting. If it takes a couple of hours for them to kind of do that, and the character's aware of that, what does that do from a story point of view? So yes, the game probably will be about 3 hours long, but obviously that will depend on how rubbish you are at it. How's Charlie doing? Cool. Yeah, another question?
Right, here we go.
Hi, mate.
Hello.
There's quite a few different versions of the Robin myth. Robin as Lord, Robin as Outlaw. Anyone in particular influenced your modernising?
I've done what everyone... So if you look back at the Robin legends, they've all had certain themes, and there's certain themes that come in and out of fashion. So things like there was a period of about 300 years where he was Batman, where he wouldn't kill anyone. And they got rid of that because they realized that shooting arrows at people is cool. But in my game, it's non-violent, so I use that. And there's other things. So it's really, I'm doing what people who've told this story for years and years and years have been doing, which is basically taking the bits they like, stealing those, and then just kind of not worrying and hoping that you've stuck. Is there... Hello. So it's a bit hard.
It's about figuring out how to.
Yeah. So
get
if you
them,
grab the bugle there,
yeah, I got that much.
And then if you bounce it, so you can bounce it off the bottom wall there and make him walk backwards, basically. And then while he's no further along. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
So
that was me deliberately resetting.
Yeah. He was. Yeah. It's, to be honest, the game is a bit ropey. So it's going to be a bit more straightforward than this. Even I struggle with playing my own game, which is usually a bad sign. But yeah, basically picked and choose. Work the bits out that made sense for this game, and then left things that made less sense. Awesome.
Great. Right,
I'm just going to keep doing Q&A if that's cool, because I'm not prepared at all. How are you doing?
Right.
You said at Eurogamer that you were gonna add a difficulty slider. How far have you got with that?
I should add a difficulty slider immediately, I think. Yeah, so yeah, there will be kind of different levels, because there's a lot of people who play Thomas Was Alone who aren't into games this just run, Charlie. Just run past him. So if you bounce it,
I almost got it.
You can do it. So if you bounce it down there,
I managed to get I managed to get through the force field.
But if you bounce, yeah, there you go. Okay, I'm just going to leave you to it. Sorry. So yes, it's too hard, as we're seeing. Basically, I just want to make sure that if you do that and then you run back and hide, like they'll just wait there, don't move.
I was trying to get into the closet too soon.
That's it. But if you make him come past you, if you kind of lead him past you and Scooby-Doo him, so you're kind of on the wall, so he can't see you as he goes past, you can get away with it. Don't do that. He'll come. Oh, probably. Oh,
Okay.
Look away, everyone.
Close your eyes, quick.
It's all right. It's all right. There you go. Sorry about that. I'm so sorry. So yeah, basically lots of difficulties, lots of difficulty sliders. Yeah. So I want everyone to be able to play this who wants to, but I want the people who really want that hardcore experience to have that as well. So we'll get there. But it's not happened yet, no.
Right, got another question here.
Was your choice to make it a non-violent game a kind of critique on all the, modern military shooters and how Metal Gear Solid went from you've got to sneak past this guy to shoot him with the gun,
It's not a critique as such. I think the big thing for me, go, in the locker, Charlie, in the locker. Hey!
Round of applause.
Those are noisy
I haven't
floorboards.
made it to the next checkpoint yet.
No,
Don't
avoid the noisy floorboards. You'll be all right. It's not a critique as much as, and it's not really kind of a morally driven thing either. It's more that stealth games, as they've evolved, have added this action element to them, where you're kind of going to shoot guards, or you use a silenced pistol at every opportunity, which is what the trailer makes a little joke about. And that's not bad, but it kind of removes the value of stealth. Like basically sneaking around and being really scared all the time. If you've got a gun, you're not scared. So it was more a choice of okay, I'll remove that little aspect of it and then push, and then that brings everything else up to the fore, and we can do some really, hopefully, mechanically interesting things.
Great.
Awesome.
Here we go. Hello again.
Hey, Laura.
Question for Charlie.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's okay.
What was the direction you were given for, and your sort of first pitch you were given for the character, and how did you come up with how you wanted to bring the personality to the character?
It wasn't too difficult. I think a lot of it was just clearly because you had my voice in mind anyway. It felt like I just needed to play it a lot like myself.
Yeah.
But just sort of like a snarkier version of myself. I think your direction was basically just you sort of. Could you remind me?
I think
remind me what I'm doing.
Had an effect. Yeah, no, it was basically. I think what the direction for the video specifically was that it was someone quite kind of timid and geeky and had just found this cool thing, and then as they realise the power they have, they kind of get more and more strong. So you have that awesome "I love your delivery" of the line, and I will be heard. Like you get scary at that point. I like that.
I think my honest answer really is that I haven't read a script yet, and all I've done is that voiceover. And so, and I did like 5 different versions of it, sent it to you with different sort of ways of playing it, so that you could make the most of it.
Exactly.
So I think once it comes to actually like reading a script properly and thinking more of the character, it's still stuff to come. I think for me.
Yeah, that's going to get more advanced. We're gonna hit that kind of I think in the next few months. It should be cool.
Great. Here we go.
What was the best or most fun experience in making this game? Have any interesting stories to tell from?
Was what was the best experience making the game?
Yes.
The best experience making the game. It's right now. No, it's not right now. This is a lovely experience. The best experience, I guess, for me, whenever I'm making a game, that's pretty impressive stealth right there. Oh, he did it! Yes!
Oh, wow.
Nice. Thank you. You're very good at this game. Go to the next one.
Is it?
Do the last one. You get like
that one,
you can
right?
knock them out.
Is it that one now?
Is that corridor or that's the one. Yeah. So really, it's the point where other people start playing. That's the moment where, for me, a game becomes a game. Because until that point, it's just you messing around, doing stuff. And it was I went to Eurogamer with it, and we had just hundreds of people play the game. And most of them really liked it, which is surprising, honestly. It's very early in development. but they really liked it and got into it, and just the kind of the atmosphere was really cool. And the things I wanted the game to be doing in terms of kind of being a bit stressful but feeling really good when you get it, all that kind of stuff seemed to work. So that's always the best moment for me on a game is those moments where you see it in front of a player.
Brilliant.
Hi, you said already there's going to be more characters and more voices. Is there any sort of plan already about how many there's going to be or what relevance they're going to have in the story?
So there's kind of three main characters, which is Robert Loxley, who's demonstrating his stealth skills. Are you in the locker?
Yep.
Nice. Oh, can you not get out? There's a bug with lockers. Are you pressing A? Yeah.
I pressed it a couple of times. Hold on.
Might want to restart the level. It's lockers. Oh, there you go. Oh, no, you were going back in, though. Oh, no. Go on. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
You might want to restart it. There is a bit of an issue with those. So yes, Robert Loxley is the hero. He's got his friend Danny Wallace, who's playing the AI kind of helper. There's the villain, who's Gisborne, who I've not announced the actor for yet, who is this kind of businessman slash mogul who's basically taken over the country, who is the villain of the piece, who's a big cool character, and then there's lots of littler characters. So people like some of the YouTubers. I can't talk about who they are yet, but some YouTubers, some games press, some various different people. I think Jim Sterling said on Twitter that he's in it, which he is, because he's Jim Sterling. He gets to say things like that. Thank God for him. Are you? Sorry, you're. Yes.
I've done it all now. So
you're done. You finished the game. I'll make some more levels for you. Well done. Can we have a round of applause for Charlie? Thank you. But yeah, the other characters are kind of going to be smaller characters. The three main ones are those guys. So, and then we're going to build that up over time, hopefully. I don't know how we're doing for time. Have we got time for more questions?
Time for a couple more?
5 minutes? Let's do it. Yeah. Anyone else? Anyone pressing questions?
I was just going to say that in the last level, there was a bit of a difficult contrast between the actual avatar and the floor. Is there going to be a better color contrast in case someone has a really terrible TV and they can't tell the difference?
Sure. No, that's a really good point. Yes is the simple answer to that. It's something that because I have a lovely Mac, so I'd always run it and it works lovely and it looks beautiful and I can see things. But it's one of the things we've seen when we start taking it to events. When you put it on a projector like this, you lose that kind of color contrast. And as you say, lots of people don't have the best screens in the world. So yes is the short answer. We're going to fix that. We're going to make it much clearer so you can see where you are really, which as we can see is a challenge on some screens. So yeah, no, that will be fixed definitely.
Great.
Hi Mike. I was just
Hello.
wondering why you decided to bring volume just to the PS4 and Vita, and wondered whether you decided to develop for the Xbox One as well.
So it's not just for PS4 and Vita, first of all. So it'll be launching first on PS4 and Vita. Then a month later, it comes out on PC, Mac, maybe Steam OS. I need to work out how that all works. I do love how Valve announced things. I had no idea before that came out. And then after that, really, the sky's the limit. If the game's good. Oh, I told you not to do this level, Charlie. It's really hard.
Well, you said you couldn't do it.
Oh,
I'm already dying. That's great.
So I'm not ruling out any platforms. It's just where it comes to first. So after we brought it out on PlayStation platforms, after we brought it out on the desktop, that's the point where we're going to start talking about maybe doing it on other places. I do talk to Microsoft. I do talk to Nintendo as well. I think this would be quite cool on Wii U as well. So we'll see what we can do. But yeah, for now, just the platforms we've announced, and we'll see. Really, a lot of it depends on whether people like it.
Great. I think we've got time for one more question, if anybody has one. Oh, here we go. We'll finish and start on Link.
Hey, Link.
I know that Thomas Was Alone was quite a popular game. Like, I know that quite a few popular YouTubers played it and stuff, and I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Do you think that Volume will have the same effect, or...?
I hope so. I really hope so. I think Thomas did do really well, which is nice. I think there's about, I think I sold about 700,000 copies of it, which is quite nice. Which basically gave me the resources to kind of make something a bit more kind of graphically complicated, which is really cool. But yeah, we'll see, really. I think this might have slightly more limited appeal just because it's a little bit harder. And I think that there's a certain audience who would like Thomas because it was a straightforward game that maybe won't get into this. But that's kind of okay. It's probably more targeted in that sense that it's for a specific kind of player. But it's cool and it should hopefully be fun. We'll see. How's Charlie doing?
This is hard.
Charlie, oh, cool.
Brilliant. Thanks
I think
very much,
that's us,
guys.
isn't it?
Can I get a huge round of applause for Mike and Charlie, please? Thank you very much for joining us this weekend. You've been fantastic, and we'll see you in 6 months' time, hopefully with Mike again. Thank you very much.